My name is Shelley Terry. I teach English at Plymouth North High School, and I am a Milken Educator. The moment I heard my name, I honestly wasn't sure if I heard the name correctly and took a moment, and I didn't actually think about the $25,000. I think the hard part is sometimes I spend my weekends grading or correcting, and my kids will always ask me, my real kids, not my school kids, like, oh, you're doing grading again. And sometimes that's hard because you don't want to take away that time from your own kids. And I know I do work really hard, just like every educator in this room. But it was that moment where I felt like, you know, the last 17, this is my 18th year, like really is worth it. And I can't believe how appreciated I am. Like, we all felt appreciated before they even announced who it was. Every single teacher, everything she was saying, all the teachers said this was an out-of-body experience before they even announced who it was, because we have never felt that appreciated before as a group. So I was happy at that moment, and then when they actually said my name, I was in shock. I think number one, in front of students is so important. I don't know if kids sometimes understand how much work goes beyond what they're trying to do. So the other day in class, we're talking about something, and I mentioned how I spent I spent 3 hours trying to put this together for you. And a kid goes, you spent 3 hours trying to do this? And I was like, yeah. And so I think for kids to see that it's not just movie stars and athletes that can have these amazing experiences, or Emmys, like she was saying, that it's your teacher who, you know, gets up and comes to school every day. The fact that they can be appreciated might actually help some of these kids to want to be teachers. Years ago, I used to run like a future educators club here, and sadly during COVID, it died. Kids just didn't want to be teachers. And so the fact is, if maybe today a student in this room says, wow, these great things can happen to teachers if you work really hard, and we could maybe get some more kids in, you know, that field, then it's 100% worth it. I honestly think for me, it's all I've ever thought of. I know when I was a little kid, I was in preschool, I remember having my mom leave preschool and make photocopies of letter people. And I would go home and teach my 3-year-old sister what the letters were. And I think there's a lot of teachers that have similar stories where they started to do it as soon as they were little. There was a time where I thought I wanted to be an educator in the criminal justice system, so I had a double major in criminal justice and thought about actually teaching in prisons, and then decided that English is really what sparked it. Mr. John Hopkins from Hanover High School completely influenced my life as an educator. I'm still in touch with him. I took a course last spring with him about writing, and I think it just made me realize that someone can make you love coming to school is so important, and that's what really made me want to be a teacher.